Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. I've been sent these two targets here. These are gallery targets from Birchwood Casey, thanks to Hannum's Reloading. Now, a lot of you will have seen targets similar to this for air rifle usage, but I thought, I'm doing a lot more with FAC air guns these days. I've always done a lot with 2.2 Rimfire as well, and that's what these are rated for. So they come in two sizes, packed slightly differently. That one's sort of vacuum packed on here, and this one is with an instruction manual here, or an instruction card here. But essentially what you've got, this one here is a 2.5 inch resetting target panel, and as many of you will see, you shoot them, they flip all the way around and they latch onto there, and you go along, you shoot them all, and then you shoot the reset one and dink like that. And these are rated for 2.2 Rimfire, and also you can shoot them with obviously FAC air guns as well, which are generally up to about the same power rating. Now this one has actually got slightly smaller, thicker discs on it, although I've not actually noticed any discrepancy in the way they deform. The discs on here are 45mm, which is about 1.75 inches, and let's just go back to that 2.5, which is say 63mm there. Now this one works in exactly the same way. You just shoot them round, off they go like that, and that's that. Now I've got these on camera. I was shooting them yesterday with a rifle. They work perfectly and instantaneously. The only thing I would say is I put them quite close at 50 metres because I wanted to, give them a good hard whack with the 2.2 Rimfire bullet, just to see if there was any kind of damage or deformation at all. And obviously, other than the fact they come with Birchwood Casey stickers on them, those have obviously peeled off where the bullets hit them, but there's no damage to the actual targets themselves. These smaller ones are actually a little bit thicker than the large ones, but they're all rated bulletproof for 2.2 Rimfire. There's a huge amount of instructions on the back, tell you minimum safe distances 25 yards, make sure you're wearing ear protection, things like that, and also to take the usual precautions of making sure you're not shooting things that are like this, because if you shoot something like that, the bullet's going to ricochet skyward, whereas when it's down like that, it'll ricochet down into the floor directly, which is the safest way to have it really. And obviously these do still need to be in front of an overall safe backstop. Do not point a firearm in any direction. It is unsafe to discharge a bullet is the essential instruction there. So, it tells you all about heavy duty construction, portable, easy to use, blah, 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 the usual marketing blurb. But just to look at them in a little bit more detail now, I'll put the link in the description to these on the website, and you can see them, in more detail. But essentially they'll fold flat like that, just for storage, stick them in the back of your vehicle, and you're just not going to damage them at all, are you? Fold these out on the front, and you've actually got, on the smaller one, you've actually got ground spikes. So just set these up like that up there, so it sits down, and then you can put those ground spikes down into the ground. Of course, if the ground is soft enough to fit them into, I was shooting yesterday on quite a hard surface, but those you pat down and they will not then slide backwards either. This one I did actually tip over on camera, but it was on a gravel surface and was a bit prone to getting knocked over because it didn't have any kind of anchorage on it. One thing I will say is this though, you did notice that they hit so hard they didn't actually stay upright. I was probably a little bit too close for that amount of energy, and of course you can experiment slightly with the angle that these sit at and where the ground spikes are to make sure you're getting the absolute best performance out of them. This one is the bigger one, 2.5 inch gongs, it's exactly the same way, and it does actually tell you on these that after you've used them for a while, although you're not going to get particularly bad damage to them, you might get a little bit of bowing over time, and of course you can then just turn it around completely, and this one is exactly the same in terms of how you could use that one and turn that one around, so you're using the back side of the target, and if you have got any dish at all in them, you can then compensate for that and start shooting the opposite way around. But essentially, targets like this, once they're in, they're going to last for forever, realistically, on rifles like Rimfire, FAC air rifles. They are, of course, fine with sub-12 air rifles. The only thing is you probably haven't got enough power to really knock them over and make them sit on the target like that, ready for the reset system. But essentially, these things are just going to last you all day long. Over time, you can replace the stickers on the front if you want to, but I tend to just spray mine with a fresh coat of road marking paint, and that keeps me in use and happy. And I can see my fresh bullet strikes, and of course I get the best colour contrast as well for aiming on things as well like that. I had them at particularly close range because I wanted to make sure I shot them exactly perfectly first time, because it was windy as well, and like I said, I wanted to be sure that there was going to be no damage to them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little mini review of these super little targets, which are going to be added to my permanent range structure now. I'll put the link in the description, so check them out, Hannum's Reloading. You can buy them there online, and they will be shipped direct to you. So please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, keep track of the regular uploads. There's nearly 800 films now. We're looking at 40,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.